All right. Hello, everyone. Kent Langley here, coming to you almost straight out of my bed this morning. And this is the OpenExO Developer Network call. We meet every other Tuesday at this time for now. Eventually, we will add additional times to help cover some of the folks in other time zones that have been really graciously showing up anyway, even though this isn't the best time for them. But we just have to get a few more people before we can do that, or someone would need to kind of kick it off in their own time zone. The goal of this meeting is to continue the opening and education of the OpenExO platform and associated OpenExO APIs, and to help grow our developer network of people who want to leverage those APIs. The two primary areas are platform.openexo.com and the EXOS blockchain. They're both fair game here on the call, and I have been trying to arrange a blockchain API demo for you today, but it appears I may have been unsuccessful getting that done. I'll keep you posted as we go along. The start with the good news that last Monday, and then I'll let Suhart go first today after me and talk about this, but I'm going to steal just a tiny bit of his thunder and tell you all that I'm really proud to say that the second platform API went live, and I want to show you. So if you're over here on the platform, well, if you're over on the website, the main home page for the OpenExO Developer Network for now is this one. It is openexo.com/dev, and you can always check the latest status of what APIs have been released. And in the past, the first API to be released was the Events API, and then just Monday morning, the Circles API was released. So these equate, for anybody that is not totally familiar, these equate to features and functions that are part of our platform. And you'll notice that down here, up here, you see this event scroller. These are coming from the Events API, as well as on the OpenExO.com website, events list. These all come from the Events API as well. So just for a quick review. So that's this one here. I'm not going to go into the API right now. But now what's been opened up is the Circles API, which I will go into. And just to make sure it's super clear, you see circles right there. These are circles. They're kind of they're analogous to forums. And probably the busiest circle by far is called Community. And if you click on Community, you go into that circle and you'll find all of the people there that are talking. And they tend to talk pretty frequently. And then on the main page again here, this is called the Circles feed. It's an aggregation of all of the activity and all of the circles you belong to. You can see here that you get a list of circles you're in. I'm just showing some of the features that are part of the API. You can make your own circles if you have something that you would like to try to aggregate people around and communicate to each other with. And then you can find circles. So maybe if I was looking for a circle about Washington, there are none. What a crime. So there you see how that works. And that is what is represented by the Circles API. That's some of the bigger news for the OpenExO Developer Network today. The second piece of news is I am trying to get integrated into the site here, not here, the site over here, a publicly facing browsable Swagger view of the EXO economy, EXOS blockchain APIs. They also are just like this. They use Swagger and they're produced by a running full node. I just didn't have a running full node that I could publicly point at this today. So that's what I'm working to set up. And I think Antonio might even have said that he was willing to help me, or I dreamed that, I'm not sure. But the point is that we will also be able to integrate that. So you'll have yet more capabilities to integrate some of the economic functions of the OpenExO ecosystem from the EXOS blockchain into your applications, should you create them and wish to. Over time, we will continue to produce more reference applications and publish them here. And all of these things are in one of our GitHub repositories that you can link to. I think that's it for my updates today. I'd like to hand it over to Suhar next to talk in more detail about the Circles API.
Hello guys, nice to see you again. Thanks Ken for the big introduction. I'm going to pass directly to show you some of the examples that we have prepared just for the Circles one. Okay, we're going to make a point on the Circles one. Okay, let me share my screen with you. Can you see my screen right now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, as Ken has explained it perfectly, we have several APIs created for the Circles one. You can access to all this information and description for all these API through this URL. You have another documentation standard if you use here WeDoc. It's a different one specification, and basically the information is the same, but you can see in another different format. Okay, you can use one of the two, the one that you make more comfortable with this. Right now, in the Circles API version, we have these endpoints. All of them. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, sorry about that. Go ahead, please. We hear you.
Okay. All of these are right now only API for reading. Okay. This API is to get a list of cycles existing on the OpenExO community under your user. We need to talk about just to open the whole cycles for the community, but we are going to make a new decision on that on the next days. This API make you possible to get all the results filtered and ordered by page. And because we are going to offer this public API to the third parties, we are going to make a continue deploy and new versions and so on. We have introduced it here, the version control, okay? If you see here, we only need to take care about that. When we try to request the API, we need to specify here the version number. Right now, it's the version 1, but in the next future, maybe we are going to release version 2, version 3, and so on, okay? I'm going to show you an example. For example, this is my credential for my own user. Please, to get this credential, you can ping up Javier Pena. We will create your credential and I will send you by email, okay? We're going to request all the cycles that I am joined on the API. It's only needed to specify these two headers variables, the username and the password. When we request, the system will retrieve this information, the description for the cycle, the name of the cycle, a link for the image of this cycle, the slab, which is going to be very important to get all this information for these concrete cycles, some tabs, the type of the cycles, and the my user status on this concrete cycle, okay? If we want to get all the information for one of these cycles, for example, for this one, the OpenExO platform, we can go here and we can see that we have this another API. in which we need to specify the version and the slack of the cycle we are interested in. An example for this one will be this one. The slack that we are going to use is OpenExO platform, and we are going to get all the information for the cycle and the post that people has made on it. If we send this petition, we request this information: description, name, another time the image for the cycles, and we have here a vector with all the questions that we have here. Identification, the number of answers for this post, and so on. We have several files here with several different information. For example, this is the description, and this is the content of this concrete question. Okay. For example, if we want to have the complete post details, we can use this one. In this one, we need to specify the version, as in the other one, and we need to specify the ID for the post that we want to get the information. For example, we have this post, which is 2246, and we can use with this API version 1 cycles post and the ID, which is this one, and we get all the information for this post. The number of answers, like we see before. This is the number of answers I didn't see. The rating, if I can edit or not, this post, when this post has been created. This is a link to share the question in a public version, and information about who created this question, and so on. Okay. We can have all the information for the question. And on the several versions we are going to release on the next step, we are going to implement new fields that maybe can be interesting. Of course, on this step, we are very open to all the suggestions that we can send to us in order to make some changes, include some information that maybe is possible, very valuable for you, and so on. Okay. And now we have this other one that we are going to get all the posts related with a concrete cycle slack. For example, I can see you here. You have the version, the cycle slack, in the same way that we see before. If we go here, where we have all the when we have all the cycles, for example, we are going to get all the questions or the posts related with the announcement. We go here, API cycles, the slack, and we get the post. We modify the slack of the cycle we are interested in, and we launch the petition. Here we have detail of how many questions are created under this circle, and we have the results paginated. This is the link for the next page, and so on. Okay.
Excellent.
Have you got any question about that?
I think it's wonderful progress. It's going to open up possibilities for a number of integrations and applications and people to leverage the information that's produced by the community inside the platform for various different purposes. Everybody heard that this is currently a read-only API. We do have every intention of these APIs going both ways. It's just the amount of capacity that we're applying toward APIs I wish we had more API developers working on it so that we could just move quicker. Zuhar's doing a mountain of work almost by himself, and we are really grateful for that, Zuhar, for opening this up and letting us start to explore these possibilities.
Yeah,
So I didn't have a question, but other than to say it's amazing. So really, really great strides.
We have a lot of valuable information under all these circuits. With this API, it's going to be more easy and more accessible for all the people to get and search all the information that we have here. So
yeah,
I think
and when you think about the fact when you which one is next? The community, is that next? I forget. No, marketplace is next.
Marketplace, yes.
So imagine now.
In which we are working.
Yeah. Yeah, so you use the API to pull information on a topic for your own application purposes. Then you see the people who have been talking on that topic and establish some degree of authority. Maybe you want to score that somehow. Then you can reach out to those people when the direct messaging API is online. So you can tap into the community completely programmatically for all kinds of reasons. And then if you needed to then solicit those particular people, you could log an opportunity in the marketplace that is directed just at that curated list of people that you curated through the API. These are just some of the ideas, right, that have been floating around for a little while now that I kind of think are pretty exciting. I'm going to send you some notes. We've got there's people want a mobile interface, right, to the circles, for example, and rather I think it would be better if they create it. So not because I don't want to write code or have the team write code, but because, really, wouldn't it be amazing if, for example, we're talking to a guy who's got a brand new social network. If you haven't checked it out and you're interested in things like Secure Scuttlebutt, which is a very interesting protocol for social networks that are decentralized, take a look at planetary.social. So imagine, though, that we created our own planetary hub. And then now using the Circles API, the Planetary Hub can interface with the OpenExO Platform API in two directions. And now whatever's talked about on the mobile interface of a distributed, decentralized, non-controllable social network can be replicated, managed, surfaced inside the OpenExO platform. You will have now connected the OpenExO platform to the entire world of decentralized social networks through this Scuttlebutt protocol. That's a big deal, right? And yeah.
A very interesting point here, Ken, is that we have control with this API for the different services that we have right now. I mean, we can give you access to request only information about the cycles, and you have no opportunity to request anything about related with events.
Right. Fine granular access.
Yeah. With the next steps that we are going to do in the next week, we are working on the opportunities third parties API. As you can see, all the APIs that we have right now are only to get information from OpenExO. But for the opportunities, maybe it's the point to create an endpoint to create an opportunity from these third parties people. We are going to have 100% control of who is creating what. So I think that is very, very important because we are going to get always the control of the platform.
That's a really good point. And I think you're right that the opportunities API is one of the ones that we most want initially to have a right interface, because third-party applications, I can tell you I have a list of probably, I don't remember how many, but I've been asked so many times, how can I provide demand, right, into the OpenExO community of certified consultants or coaches from my application, right? This comes up quite often. I get the phone call quite a lot. And I said, well, we're going to get there. As soon as you can post your own API, as soon as you can post your own opportunities programmatically, then from your platform, you should post into ours. And then that's going to connect our two communities effectively through a natural, what I would think of almost as a native interface between the two communities. And they still are separate and unique identities and communities. However, they can work together. in that way. And then also I get excited about the possibilities when we can bring the EXOS, well, anybody can use it already. There's no reason you can't run your own full node and have full access to the EXO economy in that way. Several apps do it already, but now you can integrate the economics of that as we push the entire EXO economy toward public market liquidity. That begins to become more and more and more interesting for a variety of reasons, knowing that a number of folks inside the OpenExO community often and understand and work for EXOS for portions of what they do day to day. So anyways, it's all connected, and it's all pretty amazing to see it coming online for the first time this quarter. We've been thinking about this for years, so it's really fun to see it coming online. But and then there have been another number of people come through this call that were asking about white labeling, right, our platform. Well, rather than creating a product, right, a white label product, you can integrate with any platform. I think that's a friendlier, more EXO thing to do. So it could be quite fun. And the more widgets we create, Javi, you know, the more reference applications and possibly even native interfaces to third-party platforms. Like, you know, why not? You know, why not create and publish a? Well, what's that? I'm sorry, I'm totally blanking this morning. There's a service that connects all the different APIs together.
Yes.
What's it called? I use it on we use it on Hopin for moving things into. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Yeah. So imagine that we are listed there, and then anyone could use Zapier to tap in as well. So all these amazing possibilities are starting to come alive. And that's the excitement I want everybody to understand. No, it's not done yet. No, it's not, you know, we have ways to go, but wow, I mean, look what's becoming possible. So let's get into the project updates. Thank you so much. I did want to spend the first part of this call today doing a deep dive on the API. Again, thank you, Suhar. Thank you, Antonio, for the work you're doing there, creating and surfacing it. I hope more people watch this. I've been sending links out to this YouTube video the whole time you were talking, saying you've been asking me forever about the APIs and you're not there right now. So watch this video. It'll be your first real exposure. And I'll work with Kevin to share it more broadly throughout the OpenExO community. And if you have any interest, and I know some of you here do. So let's get into the rest of the meeting, which the second back half will be your projects. Talk about what you're doing or thinking about, or even if it's just an idea or a possibility right now, it's totally fine. You know, this is where hopefully it can be continued to move forward a little bit. So we'll go over to Eric and Nikki because they represent from a number of other circles. Then we'll go over to Antonio and Javi Pena and Bryant and Sylvia. Sorry, yeah, I think that's okay.
Thanks, Kent. It's good to see everyone again, and I appreciate everybody's efforts, of course, even though, you know, at least with this group, we're only sort of formally jumping on a Zoom call every 2 weeks, and I know there's a lot that happens behind the scenes, and I appreciate the demos. I think some of you were with us a couple of weeks ago when we ran the call where Kent wasn't able to join us, so just wanted to, again, thank everyone for your efforts. And other than that, you know, a lot is going on. Nikki will keep us updated, of course. Angelo, some of the good work he's doing with the community, and just a lot behind the scenes that's happening. Obviously, you guys are a huge part of this as we try to accelerate our efforts to, you know, bring the EXOS token to market. So that's really where I've been spending most of my time, as I think you all know. The Economy Core team, again, continues to meet weekly like we have been doing for years. And it's going really well. You know, we're working very closely with our partner out of the UK that's helping us do this, and just a lot of things happening behind the scenes. Asana is just getting busier and a lot more tickets being created as we're trying to track the bigger project. Documentation efforts going, continued edits. Again, thanks for your updates on the business doc, the technical overview doc, etc. If you have more on that, just reach out to me. Happy to point you in the right direction. So with that, I'll hand it over to Nikki next and see what she has for an update for us. But again, just thanks to everybody for your efforts.
Yeah, this is awesome. Everything's moving forward. I love it. We've got a website integration for WordPress. We're going to be moving the EXO Economy website from Squarespace to a WordPress site. And so, Javi, thank you for providing access to that. I did not get an update from the team that's working on that, but today is their deadline. So by the end of my day, I guess maybe we'll see something. And we're going to do a map embed too. So I don't know if you guys will become involved in that at all, but it's a third-party mapping program that shows all of our use cases that we're going to just put into our site. Hopefully it's simple. We've got leaderboard tracking that we're working on with Jill and Kevin for our doubling exercise, which is coming up for the 3rd birthday. So it's basically a Google Sheet, type forms, and an email list, gathering all the data and putting it into an automation that gives us a leaderboard as to who's done more actions over time for a 30 to 60 day period. It's basically a 30-day doubling exercise, but we're giving it a few extra days for people to come in late and continue to play. So I don't know how much you guys will be involved in that. It seems simple right now, but I don't know the tech, so I'm just selling. I wanted to find out, I do have a dev team that's interested in presenting to either this group or the core team. And so I wanted to find out what the next available date could be. I've got a couple of different projects they could be working on. So just tell me who to introduce them to, and we'll pick a date.
Are they going to develop against economy or develop against platform API, or both?
Well, it probably would be both. They also have a software for tracking and certifying people. So for certifications and trainings and all that, that's also an opportunity. They've already built a platform for that.
I think I would go ahead and have them grab a slot in core and then plan to also attend the next of these, since this is only every 2 weeks. Why not? And that'll maximize the number of people they meet as well, which frankly is one of the most important parts. Moving anything forward is just smashing everyone together. So.
Okay, perfect. And then I wanted to just comment on our platforms currently. The marketplace opportunities, I'm not getting notifications when people are messaging me. So when I'm producing a project that I'm hiring for, technically with tokens as payment, they're applying, but I'm not seeing it. Or if I'm doing chats with them, they're communicating with me, but I'm not seeing that I need to go and check. So I'm really, if I'm inactive, I don't check every day. And so I'm wondering if there's a way to add a notification capability so that I don't miss these communications.
Sorry about that. I apologize. We have a bug related to the notifications. Habisuha is already working to fix it.
Beautiful. Thank you. And then in the circles, in that search box, Kent, you put in Washington and didn't find anything. What I experienced, and maybe this is changing, what I've experienced is if it's not the exact name of the circle, you don't find it. So we can't search by topic or category or keyword. And I think that needs to be updated because I don't know what I'm not being, shown.
That's a good point. So let's just, next step on that, of course, Pena, if you don't have that already in the backlog, we can port that over, Nikki. That's good feedback. I hadn't even thought of it that way, but it works. The partial searches like that work in the circle search, but not necessarily in the circle search. Right. That did not make sense what I just said, but you know what I meant, right?
Hierarchy.
So,
Yes.
Yeah. In the ontology search, it's not working, but in the freeform text search for the circles, for the content, it is working.
Right.
But okay, got it. Okay, good feedback.
And then the last thing is trouble tickets. I was hoping we were going to be doing some kind of tracking so that I can find the status of what I've asked for at any moment.
Okay.
Is that a possibility?
It's another really good request given the more open formats that we're taking now. So Pena, we need to talk about that. Maybe we do that in the next Monday morning meeting and see what the best way is, because we can't have 1,000 people logged into Jira, but how can we create a public facing view of the open tickets that are coming in from this circle and from other community sources? So I do put the ticket numbers when I do release notes. I don't know if you've ever noticed. Some people notice, some people don't, but you can't actually click on them because there's not a public interface to those tickets. So very good request. Absolutely something we'll look into.
Good.
Thank you. Who's next?
Me, for example. Okay. Hi, guys. This week, we realized that we already have a media library section that you could see a few videos on it. And we are moving all the Vimeo videos that you were not able to see into the AnyClip platform that we are already using for the feeding the TV section. So this is the AnyClip platform that we can see. And all these videos that has been uploaded and tagged the people who is participating in. Yeah, we only need to separate those videos into the categories and create new section into the new here is interview with Nikki, with Kevin. From here, all these videos are new. Yeah, I've been up.
I know you told me there were like 1,000 videos. So you're just continuing to make progress on this?
Yeah, well, I was able to see more than 1,000 videos because I am super user, and I was watching all the certification videos that we cannot upload to AnyClip. We cannot make it public.
See. Got it. Well, that's not exactly true, but today it's true. There's a path for that. We'll talk about it later. But just so everybody knows, quick thing, we have, if you could go to, instead of this, could you go to media.exoworld.live?
Sure.
This is also going to become part of the APIs eventually. We're working with the AnyClip team on how to do this. It's not just media.exoworld.live would be the URL.
Yeah, Google can help me out with this.
Yeah, so this is the public interface of our video on demand services that we provide to the world and to our own OpenExO community of, 7,600 people now. Then on the inside of the platform, there's a tab called TV. That is a different version of the same thing, and sometimes has content on it that is not directly surfaced on the public media portal. You see them there. They're called community exclusive. So there is content. Go back up to the top. You'll see community exclusive. And so the idea is that there's some stuff that we just want to produce to the community. There's other stuff that we produce out to the world. And we're in the process of bringing online content from a number of our community creators. And I'm very, very excited about this, and also providing a way for this to be self-service. Right now it's not. It's produced by a team that's inside OpenExO. But the idea is that if you're a creator and you have content and you would like to distribute it through the OpenExO media platform, community, and network, then we now have a pretty good viable path for that. And we've only been bringing on 2 or 3 right now because we don't have a huge team on that side yet. But it's a pretty exciting development from an OpenExO perspective. It means we're effectively incubating the creator talent that's in the entire OpenExO community. This doesn't necessarily tie directly to the OpenExO Developer Network, so I'll stop there. But where it cuts over is that Antonio's using the APIs of AnyClip and writing custom code to move platform content into the media library that will be accessible in a variety of ways, especially through search on the media side of the OpenExO platform, as well as inside the TV tab. So I hope that makes sense. And over time, we'll just continue. It will continue to get richer and richer. And if there's any topic at all that you think you'd like to learn about in this world of exponential technologies, you really want to go to the platform. media.exoworld.live, and just search for that word. You will be surprised at just how much information is there. And on an exciting note, I just received access to a new feature on the administrative side of the platform that shows us search topics and volumes. So if Antonio, you go up there to the top and click into that search box. No, not up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There you go. And type something like, yeah, sure, blockchain works. 37 results. And if you click on where it says CC blockchain, and then on the right, you see the transcript of everywhere that looks like Cesar Castro said blockchain. If you click on any one of those instances, like the one at 302, It'll take you right to that spot in the video, and you don't have to play it right now. The point here is, from a developer network perspective, we will eventually surface these capabilities via the openexo.com/dev page. Okay. So, you know, we don't just buy this stuff and deploy it for the community because it looks pretty or whatever. We're doing it to add capability to the community. And this is a superpower. It's amazing. Who's next?
I think it's me. Hi, everyone. Nice to see you again. I'm going to be really brief because I have not many updates in development and project management, because the last 2 weeks I've been really focusing in trying to make life easier for everyone, part of support. So I have not many updates. Related to the backlog we are talking about, I can tell you in the last week, I've been compiling all the backlog with a description in a document, in a Google Doc document. So I can share with you if you would like to, and you can edit, add, or whatever you think it will be useful, or we can try to find a nice way to show you, as you wish. And that's all. I have not much things to tell you this week.
All right.
Sorry.
Thank you, Senor Pena. Over to Bryant Stratton. Or okay.
Hey, I was just joining back in after a few intense weeks. I'm more here to listen today. I've got a lot of updates on my end. I just got to make sure I'll be back next week and I'll have a better view if they're valid to discuss.
Okay, awesome, Brian. Thank you. Sylvia.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me on the team. With regard to my work and Gerardo's work, I can say that we are on track with the idea. So far, the idea develops as a super platform or digital ecosystem, the idea that we work on, and we work on a deck that should kind of explore the concept, the abilities of the platform. Just to give you a rough overview of what we envision is to have a super platform that will invite companies, small businesses, SMEs. At the moment, we target SMEs to come to the super platform, take advantage of built-in attributes, capabilities, and grow. We would like to have them to invite partners that are from their industries and deal with, so that we can develop a whole ecosystem of businesses that will dock onto the platform. And the idea is that we will leverage data insights through our APIs to the different attributes that we will deliver as a meta platform, and provide synergies so that we can make value share across the system kind of more equal, and give the companies the feeling that the change they are embracing is in a more controlled way. Control is an illusion in our world, but I think through the attributes and through the acting like partners in this ecosystem, we can help each other and face upcoming challenges kind of together. So this is kind of broadly, roughly the idea that we work on. And we want to also leverage, as I mentioned, quantum computing, also because of the capabilities that this new technology will bring to the world, and also to help businesses acquire, to be more prepared for the quantum wave, so that they don't get overswammed by a new technology, but rather embrace it and develop their business along also this new technology of the future. So this is the idea that we work on. It will be a huge project if it develops the way we want it. But I think this is a business model of the future, business model around ecosystem, about building partnerships and synergies, as opposed to seeing each other as competitors and so forth.
An abundance mindset.
Yes, an abundance mindset.
Very nice. All right. I think that everybody has gone. Sylvia, I think that's an amazing example of an abundance mindset. And when you're ready with your presentation or any types of demos or MVPs, we'll be very happy to. What we'll do is, and something I've been doing in another group of meetings, is I'll set aside effectively the first 5 minutes is for just getting everybody online. I'll set aside that next 15 minutes for special presentations. And so that invitation is open to you. It's open to anyone, of course, who wants to create something that ties in and comes from an abundance mindset in order to leverage what's starting to come online with the APIs. And, there's some logical conclusions you can make for where this all goes. I don't think I'm going to leap all the way there right now, but I think this is fantastic. We end up with a web of platforms, a mesh. I like meshes, but we end up with a distributed peer-to-peer mesh of platforms as nodes, operating over the edges, which are the connections in a graph. That's how you make change really big, right? In a really big way. Nobody's going to do it themselves, right? I said once, every person in our platform is a platform, right? So how can we best enable that platform of one to get their maximum connectivity? And what you're proposing it plays into that really nicely. So I'm super happy.
Yeah, we'll definitely leverage your project on the APIs. I also wanted to ask, probably you envision there's some kind of AI work so that we can create insights from, it will be interesting to see what kind of insights we can discover also by exploring, not only the information on our APIs, but on the third-party APIs and how these APIs do new patterns by combining the information from both APIs kind of bring. So can we create synergies? And I think this should be kind of the end result of bringing together APIs to create synergies, to create new insights and see where, our kind of evolution is going. This is, I can imagine it right now. So what are the patterns at the moment? So can we, because this is part of the thinking behind the super digital platform that we work on, by combining different information sources to discover patterns that will help us navigate change. And this will be done by algorithms. So we have to create these AI algorithms that will help us see where the change or the trends are going. So
yeah, I mean,
probably
I think I have about 100 ideas
but
for
probably
that.
The next layer will be an AI layer, and this is what I think it may.
Sylvia, we did talk a little bit about it. I've been working in that space for a long time and have deployed a lot of models. And one of the interesting things about models is when you deploy a model, which we're calling an AI, it makes a prediction. And it makes a prediction based on the patterns it divines from the data. That prediction is often mistaken for a decision. It is not a decision, it's an input that can be used to derive insight. And from those insights, we can actually move on and become quite wise quite quickly and make much better decisions. And you use the word navigating, which I really like. The idea that you navigate, if I just want to go drive to the store, how many decisions do I have to make between here and there? Now, with self-driving vehicles, there's an interesting thing happening. If the car drives me all the way to the store and parks, it did actually make some of the decisions I used to have to make. But I'm not so sure that, I mean, it's a very interesting discussion we could have there, but I couldn't agree more. And I want, for example, just an idea. What if we use the Circles API to pull in content, topic specific, feed that into something like OpenAI's GPT-3, and then it rewrites effectively, thus pulling in information that it has in its database and then publishes that right back into the Circle and says, hey, I read all I read all 2,000 posts about blockchain. Here's what I learned, here is, that would be crazy. And it's self-referential. And because the next round, it'll read what it wrote before, and it will actually learn from itself, thus discovering insights to share with us lowly humans that we would have never thought of before. And it basically does that work for us. Those are the kinds of ways I'm thinking. And then matching algorithms. We've got multiple companies that we've talked to in the past that have really rich matching algorithms. So we just struggled mightily, for example, with team formation on the EXO prize. We always struggled with that for fast tracks. Well, wouldn't it be nice if there was a way to look at the circles and look at the community API and look at whatever opportunities have ever been posted and replied to in a private and reasonable way to create a team to work on the next thing about, say, quantum. It could recommend you 10 people from the community instead of you having to go through 7,600 or manually process applications from an opportunity. These are just two ideas. There are 200 behind it, but I completely love what you're saying, and just would say that, yes, please, let's do that. We have to do that. And this is how we give our entire community and meta community capability, power, if you like, leveraging technology to go out there and, in our case, transform the world for a better future, right? From an OpenExO perspective. So it's really, 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 really amazing. So I hope to have these types of conversations every single time we have this meeting. Anybody else want to weigh in? We got 2 thumbs up. I saw a lot of nodding from Eric. Hobby's like, I'm out of here. I want to get back to work. You guys are keeping me up. No, okay, no. All right. All right, guys, and men and women, ladies, thank you so much. We will meet here again in 2 weeks' time. I think this is a good pace for us right now. So we'll be back in 2 weeks' time, and someday we'll do these on different time zones when someone is motivated enough to take that on, because I'm in this time zone. So, but anyways, very happy to share the facilitation across time zones if anybody wants to volunteer and you're in that time zone. Don't take it on if you're in some other time zone. And I mean, don't do that. It's just too hard. So, all right. Thanks very much, everybody. Have a wonderful next rest of your day.